everybody? We are here. We are here once again. We got another uh, um, great guest right here, Mr. Glenn Hunter. I'm so excited to have you on today. How you doing, Glenn?
I'm doing real good, Kimmy. Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here. So something good should happen. I mean, we're both pretty hyped. So,
Right,
um,
right, right. So go ahead and we got Rob coming in the building real soon, guys. We gonna go ahead and get started. Glenn, we want to go ahead and let you give you the floor. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit of background, all that. Go ahead and jump
man,
in.
well, my name is Glenn W. Hunter. W no dot. Because you got to be distinguished. You can't have like the same name as everybody else, right? But no, Glenn W. Hunter. I'm a branding consultant. Hunter and Beyond LLC is the business that I operate. And what I do is I help small businesses grow through better branding and storytelling. And the beauty of this is as a child, I would tell stories, right? You get cornered, you get in trouble a little bit, and like, I'm going to tell a story and get out of this. And I'm a lot younger, I'm a lot older than I look. So I mean, back when I would tell stories and get caught in them, I would be beat mercilessly.
Oh wow.
They called it punishment then, but I think there are literally some international laws that were violated back in them days.
Sure.
But now I get to tell stories and I get paid for it. I think this is a great country.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what made you get involved with storytelling?
The whole idea really came from my background. I've done sales, I've done marketing, I've done finance work trying to sell deals to people.
Mm,
But what I found is that as I became more immersed on the revenue generating side, you really start to connect with people when they understand your story, when they understand you as a person, not as a product or as a set of statistics, but when they understand you as a person. And that really comes down to storytelling. It's literally anthropological.
okay.
You look at different cultures and how do younger people in the culture find out what the older people did? It's through story. How do you create trust? It's through story. So
Yeah.
I've built my branding practice off of that premise, because once you get me and I can get you, now it's very easy for us to do business together, regardless of what you're selling or producing, because now there's an emotional connection. So I use story as a way to connect emotionally, and now we can get business done. Now we can move our fortunes further ahead.
So what does that look like? What's the result when you get started with a client? Like first off, how do people find you? Like how do they get involved with the business and the storytelling? Like how did they get to you? If that makes
Okay,
sense.
so the best way to get to me again is Glenn W. Hunter.
Hmm.
I was fortunate enough to see this internet thing kind of come forward early on in social media, so I was able to get my middle initial on pretty much all my social media.
Nice.
So Glenn W. Hunter on Instagram at Glenn W. Hunter, at Glenn W. Hunter on Twitter. GlennWHunter.com is one of my websites.
Okay.
Fortunately, I was a little quick on the trigger with LinkedIn. I was a real early adopter. So it's just Glenn Hunter there. But
Okay.
those are ways that you can actually see me, some of my accomplishments. You can see my content, so you can really understand better just what my business philosophies are. And if you really want to find me, go to Amazon and buy one of my books. Storytelling Wins the Best Engagements is the one getting the traction right
Ooh,
now. And you can learn all about me through Amazon.
awesome. That is awesome. I really um now with being an author, like um how do you feel when it comes to when you're helping a client and you're getting engaged with them? How do you feel when they accomplish, like what are your thought process, like did when you engage with them?
So when I'm engaging with a client, the
Hmm.
first thing I do, and it's kind of hard to believe until you're actually in the room with me, is I listen. I embrace the silence.
Okay.
And again, being that mischievous kid, I learned how to I can hold that lie in my mouth as long as I have to. You're not gonna make me confess. You're not. So,
Right, right.
but yeah, all joking aside, the first thing I really need to do is I need to listen. I need to understand your perspective. And when I listen, I don't just listen with my ears. You listen with your eyes, you listen with your heart. So I look for verbal cues. So if your eyes are shifting while you're telling me your life story, you lose credibility, right? If you're staring me down while you're telling me about your greatest accomplishments, you're trying to convince yourself.
Ooh.
But if we're just having a conversation and you're able to laugh, you're able to cry, you're able to emote, well, now we're beginning to connect more, and now we can have better credibility. So really what I do is I ask a lot of questions. Believe it or not, I can embrace the silence. So I listen and I wait. American culture is strange that way because we abhor silence. So unless you're really into it, somebody, and usually it's the other side, will break. I gotta have some sound. We have to have ambient sound, so I have to say something because the silence is awkward.
Yeah.
Again, I know as long as I'm quiet, that means they don't know I did it. I ain't in trouble. So all these young things, all these things that were very seminal, now I'm able to translate them into something that's actually generating value. Because if I can give you that skill to listen, wait, observe, and now you're able to land more business in areas maybe you couldn't have, or you're in audiences you might not have been normally, except for you took the big step and then listen. Well, now your fortunes are growing. Your influence is stretching. So it's not just, I'm hoarding this for myself. I think it's an important way to connect with other professionals, other people that you want to show respect to, by sharing those tools to help you become a more accomplished professional as well.
Wow, that's good. Those are some good tools right there to hear, because a lot of times we don't, like you said, we have an issue with silence. We've learned, being in the car, you got to have music. When you are sitting in front of somebody, it's like you don't know what to do. You don't know if you're in trouble. Like, a lot of times we feel the other way. We feel like we're in trouble if it's silent.
Mm-hmm.
So to hear that concept is amazing, and to know, the steps of how you help people is phenomenal. And you get to learn somebody's body language just based on, or how they, how they are, based on how they react to you. So that is phenomenal to hear. And to hear that you're out there, gauging people and helping them with their process in storytelling. you know um so to where could people find you, Glenn? Where are you located?
So I'm based out of Moreno Valley. So here in the Inland Empire. I I get around a bit. I'm not sure exactly. I might have to come out with a better way to phrase that. But I have the good fortune to get outside of Riverside County, outside of San Bernardino, and do business as well.
Nice.
It's a bizarre tangent, so I won't take you down it. But as it turns out, I go to church in South Central Los Angeles, but I live in Moreno Valley. And people are like, that's crazy. Do you know how many churches that you pass between where you start and where you finish? Like, no, I can't count that high. I mean, but there's a reason, there's a story behind it. But
Right.
what it also means, I mean, I grew up in the South Bay Area. I grew up in Carson. So, I mean, it's not going home necessarily, but I'm very familiar with the environment. But it's an interesting lead in if we're talking about the scope in terms of business. Anyone can say, oh, I have business here and there, and I go across time zones and all that. It's like, no, it's not a time zone, but I don't see a whole lot of people going from the Inland Empire to Compton every Sunday to be with their church family. So those are the sacrifices I make to support the people who are important to me. Okay. Do you want to do business with me?
Right. That's awesome, because I do have history with that, because I do know what it's like to drive an hour away from home, and people are like, you go where? So it's when you have that commitment, and it's more of a that's your place, your place of rest and all that stuff. There's the guy right there. There's Rob. Hey Rob, you're muted. Unmute yourself.
Rob, good catch. What's going on?
What's going on, Rob? How are you?
Oh, I'm blessed. I got to see Mr. Glenn Hunter in the building. What's going on, Glenn?
Man, I'm doing well, Rob. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you.
And look at that that artwork behind you. All those books, all that wisdom.
Man, hey, somebody wrote them, man. I needed to read them and understand a little bit better. If I get a head start on it, it's a good chance it's back there somewhere. So,
Speaking of someone writing, uh, you know where I'm going to go
yes.
with tell us, and you guys may have already talked about it, so I'm just going to go. I'm just going all in. Tell us about Glenn Hunter, the writer.
So, as I've referenced already, Storytelling Wins the Best Engagement is one of my books. That's actually my first book. And again, it talks about how to use storytelling to make business connections and to grow business, not just grow your brand, but actually put money in your pocket. And the premise behind it is that you want to make the emotional connection. And these are the exact tools you need in order to make those emotional connections so that people not only want to do business with you, they want you to be successful. And if I'm selling to you, believe me, I want you to be successful as well. So it's a way of creating both positive energy, but more important, more positive economics for not just yourself, but the people you're doing business with, because then they're likely to come back for more.
And where you get this fire from, man? Where you go this fire? We always see you. He's such a mellow fellow, and then he just spitting straight fire. Come on back with it. Hey, so Kimmy was she's an author too, a writer, and you and I don't know what happened on the date we were supposed to get together, but guess what? We're gonna do it again because I'm sure you're gonna take my money, and I'm gonna say thank you for writing the one a minute. I think I got about 3 that I have queued up. Some I already have, maybe about 13 chapters. So I just need to get with you and putting the content together. But
yes, sir.
But how did that become a kind of a joyful thing for you?
So the writing started from a professional standpoint.
Right.
I mean, I have a bachelor's degree from UC Berkeley. I have a master's degree, MBA from UCLA. You write papers when you're in college, when you're competing at that level. You write. Yeah. But once I got into the business world, I didn't forget how. So it actually helped me get more visibility that I could make competitive arguments or things like that from a business perspective. You sort of fast forward a number of years, which will remain undisclosed. Blogging became a thing, and I was an early blogger.
Yeah.
And it started off as a way to get my ideas out, and I found it very therapeutic. But you're putting it out there, and people were following me.
Okay.
And from there, I was in the business of consulting for accounting firms. I was helping accounting firms learn how to sell. If you think about your accountant, he's not a sales type, most likely.
True.
Right? But somebody's got to sell their services. And we used to train, the firm I was with used to train them to how do you use your personality attributes to be a better salesperson. Right. So I did the training, which means I wrote planning programs for them. And then I started to blog, and I started doing in magazines, and like the magazines for the industry. Because every state has its own industry oversight group for accountants. So you have the magazine, everybody would get it, you read it every month. Well, I was able to work my way into a number of them as one of their contributors because I understood the industry. I talked about selling. So all of this to say, what got me into it was doing it professionally, getting into blogging, and then saying, I can just grow these ideas that are already here, connect them, and start producing so I can look like the subject matter expert.
Wonderful.
Long story, but that's how I got here.
That's awesome. Wow. So Glenn, that, to hear, you have so much wisdom. When I first met you, I was like, this gentleman is on fire. But it's like to actually sit down and have a conversation. You have so much food for thought. I really appreciate that you go the extra mile for people and helping them and helping people grow their business. So I really just I love your thought process. It's phenomenal to hear. So we do appreciate you coming on and joining us today. As we BGG, we dive in here. So what are you said one of your books? You have more than one book on Amazon?
Ironically, I have a book called A Word from the Voice. It's a
Okay.
Christian fiction book.
Okay.
And what the book is about is a young man who is killing it professionally, and then he runs into an obstacle that seems to have ethereal emphasis to it. I mean, is it really him, or is this something from beyond that's sort of redirecting him? And he has to learn to navigate this. And he navigates it, wait for it, he navigates these challenges that seem like there's just unbelievable happening to him. And it all is being funneled toward a search for wisdom.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. That's awesome.
Man,
From the voice.
I'd had to be drinking some Mad Dog 2020 back in the days to handle that. Man, no, but seriously, man, I mean, now you said that, I want that book, brother, because it seems like it takes you somewhere and you have to kind of, stay tuned while you're going through it, huh?
Exactly. I think you'd enjoy it, Rob, for that very reason. It's like you're winning, and then you just get like, wait a minute, this ain't right, and I gotta try and figure this out because I really like winning.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm sure you got some. I'm sure you got some at the house with you, so I don't have to go to Amazon. I can just pay you instead of paying them.
That is
cut out the middleman.
We can avoid the middleman. Yes, sir.
All right. So we grab our lunch next week. Go ahead and bring that, and then I'll make sure I fund you properly for that.
I'll have my autograph pen with me.
Okay. All right.
Awesome.
Something I was gonna. Oh man, we got to get you next week. Next Thursday, we're gonna be at the Bulldog.
Yes.
Yes.
Man, come on, bring your book, man. Bring your book. Come out, and Kimmy's gonna have her book, and then we, she's got three. I don't have one, but she coming in, shoulders out, with 3 books. Hey, bam, bam, bam. So we're gonna do.
What happened the first time?
Yeah, next Thursday. So next Thursday, man, it's in Fontana. It's a real chill spot, but that way people can get a chance to get to know Glenn Hunter.
Yes. I will be there. I am making a commitment on your show. I will be there next Thursday.
Awesome.
You are the man. You're the man. So what's next? What you got going next, man? I know we're gonna do some things, I'm sure, this summer. But what do you have next coming up?
The thing, this is what's really odd, and Rob, you'll appreciate this. Kimmy, I believe you'll appreciate this too. In business, you have a plan, and then something else happens.
Yes. Every time.
Right. So right now I'm ghostwriting. I have a couple of books I'm writing literally for people who's like, I got it in my head. I don't know how to get it on paper. So they retain me. I make a book out of their ideas. So I'm ghostwriting for this season. I am so eager to get back to my stuff because I have a list of things I'm working through.
Right.
Yeah.
But the ghostwriting is great for my brand. And, it gives me a chance to serve as well. My stuff, we're going to get to it, but I have a couple that'll be popping out. The next couple of things you'll be seeing from me will be as told to Glenn W. Hunter by said author, who I don't want to reveal my clients just yet till we start publishing, but I'm working on a couple of them right now. Okay, so I'll be in that pile too. So we will talk. We'll talk about that next Thursday. Yeah, for sure. Get you in that pile. I'm gonna bring all my chapters. Okay. Okay. We gotta get one. Kimmy has 3, so if I can get one out, one out by the end of summer, we'll figure out what happens next year. Yeah. Fair enough. I look forward to it. Yeah, I could be giving them out of the car wash or something. Hey, read about me. Oh man. Well, look, man. Kim, you got anything else? No. Okay. Well.
Well, I do actually. I have an announcement. We want to make sure that you guys follow the business page, the office hub. We want to go ahead and make sure you jump on in there, join in. When you go in, make sure you fill out the content so you can join in properly. I realize that, we have our following, what have you, but if you guys want to be involved in the business, you want to get people involved with your business, you want to make sure that when you go in, you fill out the content so you can get connected and stay connected. So we want to make sure we do that. Follow us on Instagram. um Sorry.
Turn on your notifications.
Turn on the
Oh yeah.
notifications so you can get the notifications. Make sure you jump on in there. And if you have any questions, you have any concerns, you want to, you need something answered, you go ahead and send us inbox us, and we'll get back to you, because we definitely have, we can definitely get back to you as soon as possible. So those are my announcements. BGG.
Oh, let me add one other thing too. This is so annoying to me.
Okay.
Guys, every Monday, we are supposed to announce the business of the week. All you have to do is go in and fill out the form. All right. And we'll look at how many people filled out a form. Right now, we haven't seen anybody fill out a form. So it's easy. And then let me give you the marketing tip. You fill out the form for business of the week. Lo and behold, you get selected, or nobody else competes with you. You get selected. Guess what? Now you can market that you were business of the week for BGG. Over 700 and umpty people, we were selected as business of the week, and this and that and the other. And you're telling the truth. You're not even lying and making stuff up. At that point, you got it. And we want to celebrate you. And you guys get a chance to come, if you want to have the deal of the day on Tuesday, Merchant and Money Monday, put your information out, where you're going to be, what you have, the thought of the day Thursday, right? I think we gave out a bunch of gift cards last week for thought of the day Thursday. And, so today is Thursday. Hopefully we'll get someone to post the thought of the day so they can win a gift card. Okay. And then we'll kind of go from there. But we love you. We love you, BGG. Okay. We love Glenn Hunter and all the stuff he does.
Yes.
Well, let me conclude by saying I am very thankful that you guys gave me not just this platform, but that when we even get a chance to chop it up a bit, that I'm treated with respect, and I'm intellectually challenged. So I can't come in with a weak game if I'm in the presence of the BGG folks. So I do appreciate that. But iron sharpens iron, and this is one of those iron sharpening opportunities. So I'm grateful.
I love it.
Yes, love it. Okay. All right. Well, BGG, we thank Mr. Glenn Hunter. We thank him always. And this brother has shown up and shown out. Everything we've done in the community, he's shown up, and he's been there. He's been there early. He puts his flag in the ground. He lets you know, hey man, I'm standing with the people. And we so, appreciate him, because, sometimes it's early in the morning and maybe on Saturday, he could be sleeping in, he could be on, he shows up. And that's why we love him. So we appreciate you, Glenn. Thank God for you, man. We're standing with you. We look forward to seeing you next week. I will make sure that I reach out to you and book our lunch, and I bring my payment from my book. A word from the
from the voice.
From the voice. Let me spell it right. I got this. There it is. A word from the voice. I'll bring my money, and I'll bring my ideas for our book. Okay.
Outstanding. I
All
look
right.
forward to it.
Okay, guys.
Blessings to both of you. Thank you again.
No problem. Thank you, Glenn.
All
so
right.
We'll be back on at 1:00. You guys make sure you tune in.
All right. BGG.
We out.
We out.